This conference will now be recorded.
Hi Arun, sorry I couldn't hear your voice. Anything about Oscar? Okay, yes Arun, go ahead. You can speak out. I think we have anyways less crowd today. Any questions? Any concerns?
Concern, hi Arjun. My concern
Hi
is
Arun.
like whenever you are explaining something, please consider the folks which are now who are having no knowledge about the TOSCA. Means like
Yeah. I mean, since yesterday I just showed in very basic term wherein I
yeah,
presume now that no one knows anything. On the first day,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
because I know that first day there were few folks who were having some knowledge on Tosca, so it was a mismatch. But yeah, I made sure on
yeah.
yesterday or day before yesterday, I'm just showing everything. Were you there on yesterday, day before yesterday? Was it fine, or do you want me to slow down a little more?
Yesterday, yeah. No,
Was it
yesterday it
yesterday?
was fine because we need to get the hold on things right so that we
Huh.
can get a job and all, right. Only
Huh. Sure.
completion of
Sure.
the
Sure.
training is not. Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
my
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's totally right. That was right. Yeah. And yeah, I think it was the first session. I think it was maybe because of that. I know there was one lady. She told me later that she had experience of
Yeah,
3 or 4 years of experience, and maybe to resolve her queries, yeah, there was a lot
yeah,
of
it's okay.
time
No
spent.
issues for that. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So any
Thank you.
questions? Anyone? Not just Arun. Anyone else has any question on yesterday's topic, or maybe we can start. Okay, then we'll start then. You can. I think the crowd is very less. We're just 4 folks, so you can stop me anywhere if you find anything or if you want me to ask anything. Okay, let it be more interactive than it. Okay, let me know if you're able to see my screen now.
Yes, we are able
You
to
to
see.
see, right? Okay. So yesterday, just a small recap. Yesterday we understood what are modules. I mean, what are module folders, modules, and then module attributes. Right? These are module attributes. So now, yesterday we saw a very basic scan of an application wherein we scanned the demo page. Normal, we just uh, pick the register, login, shopping, and there are few attributes we selected. Okay, what are these attributes also called as elements or controls? So we picked these elements yesterday. So what we'll do is we will explore more on this module sections once we start building end-to-end test cases. Okay. So now just now assume we have this module available. Now how do I transfer this module to test cases? If you remember uh, what I told about Tosca is basically just three core steps. Okay, rest all is extension of it. First is scanning, which we did yesterday, then the module which we created yesterday after scanning. The third is test case. Okay, now we'll come to test case. Similarly, the way we have module folders, right? We can create a test case folder, but before creating that, we should make sure we have the authorization on this folder. So how do we do that? We have to check out the folder. Okay, so if you see this parent full test case, this standard module examples which automatically came from importing the standard modules. When we saw yesterday, we were trying to import on the second day when we saw it, we were importing few standard modules. So while we import these standard modules, automatically these two folders also get imported. Okay. So we'll not focus on this now because that's of no use. We'll create from scratch whatever we have created. That is demo web shop. We will create test cases based on it. Okay. So I think I created yesterday this folder, but maybe I'll just delete it and we'll create again. So to get the authorization, so if you see, I cannot delete this. If I click on delete, you can see below the combination delete is not a command on the selected object, which means I cannot delete this object right now. Why I cannot delete it? Because I don't have authorization to it, because I didn't have checked out this folder. Unless I check out this folder, I cannot delete it. Same concept. I'll just repeat it one more time. If I just right click and click on this checkout, right, which means I have checked out this folder. Okay, just the parent folder. I still don't have access to my child folders. If I still click on delete, you will still see the error message. Key combination delete is not a command. Okay. So to have a control on this, what should we do? We should right click and do checkout tree. Okay. The last option over here, this lock symbol. There's a difference on these two. If you see this same thing, you can see over here. You can use either this option or you can use option this one. Okay. Checkout or checkout tree. Checkout should just check out that particular folder. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Checkout tree is to check out everything. I can either click on here, okay, or I can right click and click on here. Both will perform the same action. Now, if you see, you can see green color over here. Okay, this green color means it is checked out. Okay, now if I click on delete, it is deleted. Got it? Okay, now I'll go to parent folder and I'll create a folder for myself. Okay, this is called test case folder. You can see, right, create folder. You can use there are shortcuts also. You can see below Control N and Control F, but that is if that's your preference. If you want to go with keyboards, I usually go with normal right click and create folder. Okay, now I'll give demo or maybe first project. I'll mention first project. Okay, so assume this first project is basically one project we are working on, and this project might have multiple test cases. Okay, so how do I create test cases under this? This is still a folder. Okay, similarly the way we have created modules, same options. We will create a folder, right? We saw yesterday, right? We created a folder of demo workshop, and then after that we created modules in it. Okay, that's one of the basic practice. You can directly create modules from here also from this, but that doesn't look good because at the end you will have a lot of modules like this. That is not understandable. So it's better to have in a folder structure so that it's best practice basically. Okay, so I'll go to test case again. I created first project. It's a folder basically. Okay, you can see this icon. This icon distinguish. It's a folder because it's a file like structure. Now I'll right click on it and you can see there's a fourth option over here. It's called create test case. Okay, now I'll click on create test case. You can see this structure. It's called test case structure. Okay, the icon is represent test case. Now I'll give a name to it. I'll call demo test case. So I'll give maybe register. So we are doing registering. Okay, demo register TC. Okay, done. This nomenclature is fine the way you want to do it. But once this is done, you might see there's an option. There's an option over here. Okay, if you see, okay, once I click over here, there are 3 4 options over here. Okay, there's value, action mode, data type, and work state. This work state is very important. Okay, this is part of best practice. I think you will not be able to even the most of project people in project also don't follow this, but it's very important. If we see some, it is a planned status. Okay, planned status means we are planning to work on it. Okay, you can, if you just create a folder and keep planned, so someone will see it is still in planned status. Okay, there's no work going on. You can keep underscore in work. Okay, once you keep in work, someone can come back and say, okay, test case is in work state, so which means I shouldn't touch this. Someone is working on it. There's one more. After you complete a test case, you can click on completed. Now just properly like see the icon over here. Okay, see the icon has gone. Once you click on completed, the icon is gone. It means the test case is completed. Now you can see one more time all the different icons with the plan is clicked. You can see there's a spanner icon which is on the top. Okay, maybe if I can zoom, I'm not sure whether I can zoom this. Okay, there's a spanner icon which is on top. If I click on in work, the spanner will rotate on the right side. See this side. Okay, in work, and in the completed state there will be no spanner. Just click outside, there's no spanner. Okay, so now we are working on it, so I'll keep it as in work. Okay, this is just a best practice. Don't No one follows this in project real time project also. No one in my project or in my experience, no one has worked, no one do follow this, but it is best practice. If you do it, that's good way to do it. Okay, have keep it as in work. Now there's a as a best practice, every test case should have 3 phases. Okay, I mean 3 steps. Okay, maybe I'll go. Okay, I'll go to test case. Every test case have 3 structures. First is precondition, then process, and then post condition. Okay, now when we were working on this particular website, what just let's be an interactive and let tell me what could be a precondition, what could be a process, and what could be our post condition. Any rough idea? What do you think? What could be my precondition, my process, and my post condition?
Opening the URL will be precondition.
Right.
Exactly, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And process would be, so
Clicking on
assuming we are just clicking, so as a test case is to register.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll just assume I'm trying to register it. Okay,
Yeah.
so clicking on register or maybe completing the registering process is my process. Okay, we will not completely
Yeah.
follow this. We'll just, okay. And what would be a post condition? It is to close the browser. right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it could be my close the browser, or usually people don't keep this as a post condition, they don't keep it, but the best thing is to just close the browser so that in the next test case when you are running it, you have every environment set up in such a way that you can launch the browser again. Assume I didn't close this browser, okay, and if I launch the browser, if my test case is running, if I have one more test case running, if I'm running 3 4 test cases all together, first test case of register, second test case of login. Okay, so in the first test case, let me create three fold. Okay, huh. So this conditions which I told you, right? These steps, precondition, process, post condition, these will again be a part of these will be part of folders. Okay, we have to create a folders for this. Create folders for this precondition. We'll copy this. Okay, I'll rename these one by one. Process, and this should be my post condition. Okay, so now assuming precondition, we are logging in as you said. We are going to launching. We are launching the web URL, and we are going to the website. Process, we are registering the user, and then in post condition, assume we don't do anything. We just keep it blank. So in that, assuming the next test case also comes up, we create one more test case of login this time. Okay, instead of register, we create one more test case of login. So what will happen? The problem occurs here because you have launched the test. You have launched the particular URL. You have processed something. You maybe you are on the screen. Okay, you have not closed the browser. If again you are running the second test case simultaneously, it will again it will launch the browser again here. Okay, so now the test, now this particular Tosca would get confused. See, I have two browsers with the same name, demo web shop register, demo web register. So how will I follow? So to make your environment clean, the best step, the best thing is to do is to have a post condition wherein you're closing the browser or you're finishing everything what you're doing, so that in the next process you can start from scratch. Or there's one more way to do this that will come in future, but I'll tell you now. In precondition, you can always have something like you are clearing the cache, or launching the browser. Okay, so what will happen is if you're clearing cache or closing everything whatever is open, so by default whenever you're running a new test case, it will automatically close everything and then launch it. So in that case, there is no need of post condition. Understood? Should I repeat this part? Okay, maybe I'll repeat this again. So there are two ways in the post condition. Either you write a step to close the browser. Okay, if you want to use, if you don't want to use post condition, you can have it there, but in precondition just make sure you add one step wherein you are closing everything whatever is open, and then maybe you are launching the browser whichever you want to open. Okay, launching the browser whichever. So what will happen in that case? So even if I'm running these test case, five six test cases, I'm launching same browser, but in precondition, as I mentioned, I'm first I'll close everything which whatever is open, and then I'll open the URL. Second step. Okay, precondition can have two, three. This steps can have two, three steps. Okay, so got it? Maybe, or maybe we'll do it and then we can see this. Okay, now how now someone said, right, precondition. What is the first step to launch the URL? So now to launch the URL, we already have a standard module called open URL. And now we'll come back here. Okay, this once you keep using it, then only you'll get to know where exactly these modules are there. Okay, so if I expand this, you see here's something called
I think it will come under HTML under engines.
great, that's one way. Very good. I think you have done your homework. Very good. So this one way is directly drag and drop it over to the precondition. Okay, you'll have open URL. The other way, what we used to do is right click over here in the precondition, assuming this open URL is not present with you. If not able to find the way I was not able to find it, thank you there for helping me. If I don't get it, then right click on it, and you can see at the last part there's something called search and add test tip. Once you click on it, a pop-up will come which basically says what all modules you already have existing. You can just say add open, right, and you got it open URL, and you can see, as my friend mentioned, it is under the engines HTML option, right? You can see modules, standard modules, engines HTML. Okay, either way is fine. If you know the path, good to have. You can directly come here and drag and drop. You saw what we did, just drag and drop it, just drag and drop it. So, and for this, it is not mandatory to check out the modules. If the modules are not checked out, then also you can drag and drop it. Only thing is, if it is not checked out, you cannot make changes to your modules. Correct? Only if it is checked out by you, then only you can make changes. But without checking out, you can still drag and drop the modules to your test case. Now I have dragged and dropped it. Now I'll pass the URL. What's the URL? Okay.
Arjun, for
Yeah.
standard modules also, like we need to check out it if we want to use it, or we
Uh,
can just
it's
use like
best
that.
it's best to not check out this. Okay, you can always drag and drop because standard modules are built completely. Okay, it is built in such a way that you shouldn't make any changes to it. You can directly use them. So it is best to just only check out your folders, your modules. Let standard module be like this. Don't check out this. Okay, there's no point checking out this. You can always check out your modules or your module which you have created. And to use standard module, as I told you, you can just always drag and drop it. It will still come into help. I mean, you can still use it without checking out this. Okay, best practice, don't check out this, it is still fine. Okay, got it. Now if I come to test case, as I've entered the URL over here, now if I just close this and I launch the run in scratchbook, it will launch the browser and open. And now one more thing which you can see over here is this browser, it launched, but it is not in full maximized state, right? How do you wish to work on it? You want to work in this way, right? You want the browser to be launched, come in front to you, and should be in maximized screen, right? So how do I bring it? Okay, there's one more standard module for this. will okay, I just purposely made it minimized it, I mean put it in the default state. Now I'll go to module. There's one more standard module called basic window operation called tbox window operation. Okay, now let's read before using this module. Let's read what it does. It says execute an operation on a window. Okay, and what operations you can do? It will try to bring to front, tries to bring the windows to the front. Okay, and so what does it mean is, if you have a lot of applications open, assume I have 2 3 applications, these three all are open. Okay, and if you have Chrome somewhere behind, so it will make sure it will bring your browser to the front. Okay, there are other things also you can do it. It will first, so below that there are model attributes. Okay, this is, as I told, this is module. These are model attributes. Let's understand model attributes. What does it say? First one is caption. Okay, what does caption says? It's a caption of the window. Means what is a caption of this window? And if I come here, the caption is nothing but this part. This is either we call it as title or caption. What is the caption here? It's demo web shop register. That's the caption of it. So we need to mention that caption in this particular part, in the caption part. I'll come back here. First I'll drag and drop this tbox window operation. Same thing, drag and drop in precondition. Okay, this is still uh, precondition only because we are still launching the browser, or we are setting the browser as per our need. Okay, so in caption we can, as I told you, we need to mention the demo workshop. So there are two ways. You can directly write everything as it is written, right? Demo web shop register, but it's way too long. The best way for this is we'll use a wildcard. I'll write demo the way it is, and I'll use star. Star is basically asterisk. Asterisk is called, it's a wildcard, which basically means anything which comes after demo, I don't care about it. Demo should be your first starting letter. I mean, it should start with demo, and whatever comes after that, I don't care about it. I just want to launch. I just want to focus on that particular window which starts with demo, and anything after that is of no use to me. Okay, got it? That's it. So demo star. If I put star also at the starting also, which basically means my demo should be there. Whether anything starts before that or anything ends after demo, doesn't matter, but demo should be there. If my window, assuming right now it is demo web shop, and assume there's some icons like this. Okay, maybe some numbers, some like this is there. Okay, so in that case it is and assuming these are changing again and again, maybe a second time you launch the website, it will come something like this. Okay, Assume it will come something like this. Maybe some new numbers are coming every time you launch it. So there's a difference every time in this numbers. Okay, so in that case, you should know, if you can see, right, what is the pattern over here. The pattern is in both of these, this demo web shop is constant. Okay, so you can, what you do is, for this the wildcard would be, I'll write star, means start with anything, but it should have demo in it. Okay, after that you can write web shop also, or you can just put star after that, after demo, which means anything which comes before demo I don't care, anything which comes after demo I don't care. Okay, that's it. If I have demo in my caption, I'll just focus on demo, and I'll use it as a caption. Got it? So
which means here contains the
huh,
window
it's
caption,
basically, yeah,
right?
it's basically the same thing as you said. It basically, star asterisk around is basically, it contains demo, just contains demo. Exactly. If you don't use star at the starting, it means it will start with demo but ends with anything, but it should start with demo. And similarly, if I use star at the starting and I end with nothing, so it means it starts with anything, but at the end, let end character should be demo, right? I think you got the crust of it. Very good. So maybe I'll put star demo, or I'll just, for now, use demo star. Okay, for now. So now we use caption, and let's see the next part. Okay, child window caption. We don't have nested windows. Okay, nested window means windows inside windows. Will come into future when we see this kind of operation, but I have never used that. Okay, child windows. Then comes windows index. So it is not mandatory, it is optional. Okay, assuming if we have two or three different, if I have, I'll just duplicate this. Okay, assume if I have launched 2 3 windows or 2 3 tabs like this. Okay, like this. So I have, you can see now, I have 3 windows with demo shout, right? First, second, third. So which one I have to work on? If that is the case, in that case you can use right to the window index. Okay, I want the first one. If I use first one, so whatever the first one, it will operate everything on first. But it is not the best practice to have three windows open, because the system will always get confused. But unless you provide the window index, so best thing is just have one window, just operate on one it. Okay, this also we don't usually use the window index. It'll usually, it's if you see, it is unmarked, right? It is not checked, which means it is an optional. Whatever you can see is colored, right, a dark color, it is mandatory. You have to put on, you have to, it's a very mandatory field, you have to, you work on it. Now operation, what operation you want to do? What was our major problem here? The browser was launching in not in a maximized state. Okay, it is in sub maximized state. Okay, so to maximize it, just click over here. You can see there are different options over there. The options are bring to front, which will basically, as I told you, if there are a lot of applications open already, no matter how many applications open, it will always try to bring it to the front. Okay, that's one thing, we always want to bring it to the front. Okay, let's say bring it to the front. But there's one more operation we want to do, right? We don't want it to just bring it to front, we also want to maximize it. Then what will we do? Then we can see there's operation window, you can always keep on adding more functions. Then I'll do is, I'll again click on it. If you see, the color is still light gray, which means it is not being used yet. If I click on, if I click on maximize and I click somewhere else, you'll see this is also targeted, which means this is in use now. Okay, and if you might be thinking, as many times I'm entering these values over here, if I enter one more value, assume I'll say normal. Okay, so you see it will keep on adding. Why is it happening? Okay, so there's one interview question for you. I mean, just for you to understand, it is happening because of one property of module. Okay, I will go to model attribute from here. I'll click on, right click on operation, say jump to model attribute. If I jump to model attribute of this operations, and I'll see the property of it. Okay, so for you guys, just go back today and check this particular functionality. I'll maybe paste it this. There's something called cardinality, and paste it in the chat. What exactly was the chat window? Oh my god, this is something new for me. Oh, so okay, this is cardinality. Okay, just today you can go ahead and see what exactly the cardinality is. Just read through it completely. I'll just tell you what exactly it is in a very brief way, but this is asked in an interview a lot of times. Okay, the cardinality here is 1 to n, which means the minimum number of times this particular model attribute should be used is 1, and maximum number is n, as many times as you can use it. Okay, but the minimum number is 1. Okay, if I put the value as 1 right now, if I just change the value to 1, only number of times I'll get operation is only one time. You cannot get it two times. If you want to get it two times, then you need to copy this, control C here and control V here. You saw, right, it got pasted. You can as many times you can paste it, but to not do this thing repeatedly, the best thing is always make sure your your cardinality is 1 to n. If you think your model attribute can be used multiple times, you can use 1 to n, which basically means the model attribute will be used minimum one time and maximum n number of times. Got it? Any questions on this? It's very important, this topic, this cardinality.
Arjun, as this is a standard modules, like still we are able
Hmm.
to make changes to this.
You can make changes to it, but it is advised not to make it, but you can make changes. See, I have not made any changes. See, it is just the same. If you see, when can I make changes? And when I can see green icon over here, right? But there is no green icon because it is not checked out by me. I cannot make changes. Just showed you right now. To make changes, you can definitely make changes, but you have to check out this tree. You can check out this particular folder or this particular module and make changes, but it is
So,
advised not to make changes. Usually whatever the attribute they give, right, they always give usually 1 to n or whatever the best practice they follow and give it. If you see this window index, they give 0 to 1. Okay, and which basically means 0 means it is optional, it can be used 0 times, maximum it can be used as one time. Got it? Operations, as I told you, which we are using minimum one time, maximum n time. There's a meaning to it, everything which they have done, so it's best not to disturb this settings.
okay, but if we want, we
Hmm?
can do it,
You
or
can.
it is not editable.
You can do it. I can just right click and check out this for you. Okay, this is checkout. I'll do the changes under after that. If you see this operations, I can do it to 0 to 1 also. Done. It is done. It can be saved. If I do save, it will be saved. But best practice is not to make changes. I'll do undo. If I can do undo on it because I have saved. I cannot do it. I'll just revert the changes back again. 1 to n. That's it. You can make changes to it. But best practice is no, because they have built it. The scientists have built it. They have built it with some purpose. They know it why they have built it, for how many times it should be used and all. So they have built it in that way. But if you're assuming for this clipboard value, okay, this is used on it. They have mentioned only one, so it can be used only one time. But if you want to use it multiple times, you can directly the way I've done it over here, right? For this operation, now assume this is value. You can just copy and paste it on the top. You can add as many as it. That's one way. The other way is to directly change the value to 1 to n or 0 to n or 1 to n. That's it. So that's why you just go through this topic. I mean, just go through it. Cardinality. This is one of the most asked questions in interviews. What is cardinality? When do you use it? What is the meaning of 0 to n, 1 to n, 1 and 0 to 1? Okay, there are different values, right? You'll understand the basic difference of it. As I told you, I'll just repeat it for you again. When the value is 1, it basically means is you have it's a mandatory. I mean, you have to use minimum one time this value. Okay, without using one time, it is of no use. You have to use minimum one time. If the value is coming here 0 to n, which basically means 0 to n means it is a optional field. Okay, and maximum you can use it one time. Okay, maximum one time. After that you can use it, as I told you, right? Control C, control V, you can use it, but by the default property what they have given, you can minimum use it 0 time and maximum one time. But for operations window here, it says 1 to n, which means you have to minimum you have to use one time, which means it is a mandatory field. It's a mandatory field, and you can use n number of times. N number of times in the sense, if I as soon as I'm adding, if you see as soon as I'm adding values here, this values keep on getting added. Okay, but this is not operational. We cannot. It is not going to work because it is grade mark. It is not in completely use. If I put maximize here again, I click somewhere else, we can see one more operation came off. But our work, but this whole functionality will work only on these gray ones. This is dark gray ones. This all these minor one, no, it is of no use. And how do I understand? Okay, this dark gray is important, and this light gray is of no. If I just do function F9, I think, or function F12, maybe my keys are not working, but there's an option wherein you can use function keyword to If you do function F9 or function F6, you'll understand. If you use function, maybe I'll get back and see what exactly the keyword is. If you do function F9, all these light gray keywords, right, it will automatically disappear. It will only show you those fields which have to be executed. All these non-needed, not mandatory optional values will be disappeared from there. Okay, any questions on this? Maybe we'll can repeat this one more time on this.
What about 0 to n? You told something.
0 to n is again similar. It's on based on you. 0 to means it is optional. Okay, 0 to means it
Okay.
is optional, but it can be used
Optional, we can use.
n number of times.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
okay, but if you keep on adding values to it, like this, assuming if I use operation 0, okay, I'll just remove it. Okay, if you see, if I put 0 here, 0 here, what will happen here is this option value is grayed out, right? Sorry, light gray, which means it is not mandatory. Whenever it is a dark gray, which means it's a mandatory field. If I just put it as 1 to n, which now basically means it's a mandatory field. Okay, where is it? We need to refresh this. Okay, maybe it's not reflecting, but that's the crunch of it. Okay, 0 to n basically means there is an optional field 0, and if you use 1 to n, where is it? 1 to n, 1 to n means minimum one time you have to use it, and maximum n number of time you can use it. Okay, so as I put 1 to n, it's mentioned here 1 to n, I have to use at least one time, which will I'll use it for maximize right now, right? Because I want to maximize this. First I'll bring to front. As you see, these values are keep on extending now. Why? Because I put 1 to n. N means n number of time. If I don't put n here, if I just put 1, it will not reflect n number of times. So maybe I'll just do it. I'll just remove this.
Arjun,
Hmm. Yes.
so you mean to say like so? For example, here we drag and drop the operation.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
in the
we
cardinal
drag and
field we
drop
have
the T-box window operation. Yeah.
uh, so
Hmm.
yes, window options we have drag and drop. So under that we are having caption, index, and operations.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put for operation cardinal value as 0 to 1,
Mm-hmm.
so it will populate one time. If I
Yes.
give n number of times means it will populate multiple times here. Like step will get
Now,
populated.
hi. Once you enter values to it, it will increase the value. 0 to c n means is you can use n number of time. So now let's go back to caption. If you can see, it is only one time. Unlike operations, right? If I just go to captions, you will see the value cardinality value is 1 here. Okay, what if I give value as 1 to n? So just think what will happen now. If I give 1 to n, you will see caption got increased now. Okay, if you keep on entering values and keep enter values, this caption will keep on increasing because I have given 1 to n. You can
Yes,
use n number of word, correct?
yes, yes. Once after inputting the value, it will keep on
Hmm.
coming the
Comment,
two more
right?
captions will come. If you give only one time, the
Ah,
operation get over.
only one time. But you can always use more than once. But for that you can use Control C and Control V without even changing cardinality. You can still increase it. But for that you have to just copy this. You can see here, right? Copy finished, and I'll paste it over here. It will keep on increasing without even using cardinality. But cardinality meaning
So
it is for interview purpose mainly. Okay, it is asked.
okay. So instead
Hmm.
of copying and pasting, we can give cardinal elements. So
Yes,
once
it will
after
automatically.
completing one
On
operation, it will
entering one
automatically
value, increase it.
like
Exactly. Very good. Correct. Same in
like
operations now.
insert below step. Instead of insert below step, we are giving the value one
Value.
to so that it will
It will increase. It will keep on increasing. Now
increment.
operations also we just
Yes.
change it to 1. Okay. So it is just 1. Even if I enter a value here, it is not entering. It is not adding one more operation. But if I just change it to n and I enter, okay, done. Now I come back here. Now you see it got increased automatically. Correct?
The module level, you are giving the cardinal value, right?
It is always in the not
Or
on the
the
module, not on the module level. It is always on the module attribute levels. Okay,
Okay,
this
okay.
box window operation is module. This icons are these are module attribute. So if you see, you can say attributes has this cardinality field, but in module you won't have the cardinality field. Okay, this cardinality
Okay.
property is only for the model attributes. Okay, got it. So now come to the main. Any question? Any other question? We'll do two operations here. Okay, we will first open the demo workshop when we'll bring it to front, and then we'll maximize it. That is our main agenda now. So maybe I'll launch 2 3 websites. I'll close this demo also. Okay, I'll open these all things, and then I'll first open launch the URL, and then I'll perform this operation. Okay, so I'll just run this whole precondition folder. You can run individual folder also. Facebook, it launched it, bring it in front, and then maximize it, right? Correct. So that is our precondition here. That's how we do it. And Scratchbook, as I told you, if assume I just close it, I close the Scratchbook. If you want to open the Scratchbook is basically a cache. Okay, whatever you closed just now, right? If you uh, assume in WordPad also, you write something and by mistake you delete it, what you do is Control Z, you do, right? Control Z, undo. So with the reset changes, you can come back and see. Similarly, Scratchbook, if whatever I have just run, and if you closed it by mistake, you can click on the Scratchbook and you can see the recent execution what you did. So you can see over here, expand this, and you can see the Scratchbook. What I did, I ran the precondition. I opened URL. It says login info says it has opened this particular URL and operation. It has done these operations. Okay, very precise way. It has bring it to the front. It says operation bring to front has been performed successfully, and operation maximize has been performed successfully. Okay, it will give you start and end time duration also. Understood? Now we will end this precondition. After that, assuming I'll add one more step. Okay, I assume I want to add a screenshot saying that after performing this, after launching this, maybe someone wants to know your test cases. I want to see whether the application is launched in my report. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to tbox screenshot where exactly this again I have to find it. The best way, as I told you, you can always find it over here, or you can directly come here, right click on search add test step, or you can say it is already there, tbox screenshot. And where exactly it is in automation tool basic window operation table screenshot. You can read over here, right? This is the place where exactly it is saved, it is placed. So I'll go here, it says window operation, basic window operation, and take tbox, take screenshot. Now we'll again read this every time, at least first time when you are doing this whole automation, right? Or Tosca, you always go and read this for standard modules at least. Okay, it will not come for the your created modules. It will only come for standard modules. Just read what it says. It says save a screenshot of the current screen on the specified path. Okay. Similarly, and it will ask you environment. It is already mentioned. It is optional. It is optional. It is optional. Name of the field to be set. This is mandatory because it is not mentioned as optional. File name is a mandatory field. Select skill is optional. So we'll focus on your mandatory fields. So for now to have this, I'll drag this, drop it to my precondition folder. Okay, it is placed below. Okay, now the best thing is, okay, maybe mention, so this, let not keep this as a open URL name, just maybe mention nomenclature open demo workshop, whatever spelling it is, and then whatever you're reading here, maximize the screen. So that whenever if someone else is executing a test case in future, um, someone else is executing a test case, they should understand what is happening in this particular step. If any mistakes are there, so that they can rectify it. Okay, so that the person should understand, we should have proper naming. And then I'll mention take screenshot of open page. Okay, fine. Now here, if you see, already file name is already dark gray, which means I have to enter this value here. There are multiple ways to do this. Okay, I'll just give file name as demo now. Okay, if I just give demo, enter, if I run this, okay, if I just run this, it will automatically minimize my Tosca It'll go back to the page. This is very fast actually. Take the screenshots. Screenshot is done. Screenshot is taken. You can watch the screenshot at this location. It says the Tosca, your screenshot is located at this location. And if you come to the right side, in the details also you can see the screenshot has been taken. This is how screenshot would look like. It is a scratchbook as I told you, right? It is a rough work. It shows you this is what your execution result is. And if you want to see, you need to go to this location and check your screenshot. I'll go to this location. Okay, maybe there are two. So directory, that's why it is coming like this. Tosca word, it said right. I'll just wait and you can see this. It says Tosca red, then Tosca commander. So I'll go to Tosca commander, this folder called screenshots, and I can see this was taken just now. This was the screenshot. Okay, and by default, the model which Tyson has created, right? It will first take the name which you have provided. Okay, so I gave name as demo. Okay, and after that, whatever you enter, whatever is there, right, it will add underscore and the timestamp here. This is the timestamp, correct timestamp. Okay, because as soon as you keep on taking screenshots, every screenshot will come next to one by one, so that you will have the first screenshot was this, second was this, third was this. So it will be placed based on a timestamp. You can have your different name to it. Okay, I can add demo 1. Okay, and what will happen if I just run this again? So as I told you, it will take this name, and after this name it will add underscore and the timestamp, current timestamp. I'll just run this one more time. Let's see. Okay, because the page open is this, so it will take screenshot of this particular page. And if you say it's a demo underscore 1 and this is a timestamp. Okay, as we have this page, this particular folder has property in such a way that it is showing the recent one. So it is showing the recent one. Recent is, where is that? It opened this folder. The second one is this folder. So you can always sort this, and maybe you can use in, but then in reporting we'll say, just for now, just understand this is how we take screenshots. Fine. And to configure, assume you want the screenshots to be placed in your location, whichever you want to. Okay, not on this location. In that case, you can give directory over here. Okay, I'll give C, and then probably I'll assume what are folders I have in C. Let's see, I have only these folders. Okay, I'll create something new. Maybe I'll create some new. I'll say uh, Tosca train. Okay, so I assume Tosca train is my folder which in which I want to save this file, this screenshot. But Tosca train is not there. It is not present here. Okay, but still, if you enter this, it will automatically create this Tosca train folder, and it will automatically add the screenshot over there. Okay, maybe I'll just keep it over here, launch, and then I'll run this again. Okay, now what do we need to see? First, we need to see whether this Tosca train is being created or not. You see the last folder, Tosca train, current time, right? Exactly now. Enter this, and you see the screenshot is been captured over here. Okay, so it does two things. Oh my god, too many times. It does two things. It can create a folder. If you want your directory, you can give your directory where you want to save it, and then you can. If you don't give a directory, it will pick a default location. And where does this default location is coming from? Okay, now for this, let's go to, I think, settings. Okay, we'll go to settings over here. Settings, it will take always some time to launch. This is where your default locations are mentioned. Now let's see. Dbox. Okay, I also don't remember, but this is where your logging. Okay, this is a screenshot, please. Okay, Tbox, under setting, you'll have something called Tbox. Under Tbox, you have logging and you have screenshot. So this is where your screenshots are getting captured. And if you read this, it says C Tosca project Tosca commander screenshot. That's where we saw, right? When we were executing a first time, we saw the same location. So if you want, by default, if you don't want to give file, this your folder name every time, you can always change this directly, this location directly. You can give your local C. If I give C, and then what was that folder? Tosca underscore train. So in that case, what will happen now? So even if I don't give the directory now, it will still save my screenshots in that particular folder. So it created a folder, screenshot folder, and then started saving it. So from now onwards, if you run anything without any directory, it will always store your file name, your screenshots in that folder. Got it? Any questions on this? Okay, then fine. This should be fine. So what all we learned today, we just understood modules. How do we drag and drop modules in a test case? Okay, these steps: pre-condition, process, post-condition, and then how do you capture screenshots. Okay, we just understand the very basic understanding of the modules and cardinality, very important. I would suggest you always go back today, learn cardinality, just write it in a notebook and learn. I mean, just repeat and understand what is the cardinality and what is the meaning of this each number, 0 to 1, 0 to n, 1 to n, whatever it is. Okay, you will get a lot of these options in your test documentation, or just google it, tosca cardinality. It will explain you everything. Okay, if you still face issue, we will see this next in the next slide. We will understand more on it. What exactly is this? Fine. And for now, and then we'll again create process folder. Same process. We'll just next more class we'll see how to create the whole step. Post condition, we'll try to close the browser also, and then we'll try to run this whole test case, one full end-to-end test case. Okay, and then we'll see more advanced options of taking screenshots or reporting. We can save this. We don't want the screenshots to be placed only in these locations, right? What is the point of having this in a folder? I want it in a PDF document or in a Word document, basically. Okay, how do I get it? So we'll see that in the next class. But for this, any questions? Okay, I just kept purposely 10-20 minutes, 10-15 minutes extra just to have your questions today. No questions?
Arjun, in real time, like where we store the test data.
Okay. For in my project, see, people say that they are storing data in clouds and all, but I have never seen anyone storing in cloud. Everyone stores in their local only. Okay, they have a dedicated folder. Okay, right now I showed you, right? I gave demo as my this thing. Maybe I'll show you again. There are some little more functions about it. In real time, it's written as file name as demo. Okay, so what I assume my project name is ICMS. Okay, it's a basic clinical trial project. Okay, it's SAP is building their clinical trial, which pharma companies are using. So I'll use ICSM. Then I'll put date as a function. There's something called date as a function. I'll write, if you see, if I use curly braces, all the functions which are present, it will start popping up. I'll use DATE. Okay, now if you read over here, date and time value can be calculated by using this base date along. So it will basically give you a date. Okay, so if I just use this function, and if you right click on it and you see translate value, it says this is the value. Okay, so we are saving in this format. Okay, so on this date this value is being saved, but once you are taking a report of it, right? Assume I'll take report of this whole test case. There's an option of print report. Okay, once you take a print report of it, only number of screenshots in these test cases will be captured. Okay, so it will automatically go to this location. It will TOSCA will automatically understand what all screenshots has been taken for this case. Assume there are 100 test cases, but only 5 test cases corresponds to this test case. So it will automatically understand I have to capture those 5 test cases, that too sequentially, because of this date and time concept. Okay, based on this time, it will sequentially take those screenshots and place it automatically and add it. Okay, so the most easy way, no matter where you store it, once you try to take a printout of it, it will automatically take the screenshots in place. And maybe I'll show you one printout. I'll export it in desktop, save it. Okay, this is my test case report. Okay, maybe I didn't mention this is a I didn't configure the there's some configuration needs to be done to capture the screenshots also. This is very default way, but after this performance, inside after this is right. This is T-box screenshot. At this place, after this, you will see the screenshots also. Assume they have lot of other process also. After every step, wherever you have mentioned T-box screenshot, a screenshot will come in place. But only those screenshots which are there in this test case, which you are taking print, only those will come. So no matter your so my folders usually have 1,000 screenshots in one folder, but every test case will have only those screenshot steps. Whatever is there in this test case, only that will be captured. Right. So
How did
no.
that?
Hmm?
Sorry. How did that report came just before you showed?
Okay. Just there are two ways. Just we'll come to that later. But you just need to right click on this test case folder, and this option already present a print report, and there's an option of test case over. I think this is already a default reporting option which TOSCA gave. We will see how to create our own customized report, but for now, I think TOSCA already gave this customized report. This is also part of standard TSU file we saw earlier, right? That's why the most important thing in TOSCA when you create workspace is to import this standard TSU because it gives you a lot of other options. So similarly, along with modules, this print option, this particular format, this is one template basically. This template is also given by standard this TOSCA. If you click on it, it will automatically create a PDF format. I think we usually use PDF only. That's what most management team agrees on, and you can uh, prefer the location where you want to save it. Okay, this already exists, so I'll click on it. It'll automatically load the PDF file. So this is again, it's a standard TSU reporting. If you can see just the extra part, this is the reporting part wherein this is where it is being created. So it is based on these properties. We'll see in future how exactly this test based on these values it is created, the report is created. You can always expand, modify these values. You can add screenshots. If you want screenshot, you can add few queries over here. Based on that, it will pick screenshots also. If you want fail steps to be added, if where it is failing, you capture the log of it. There also you can add it, and your screenshot will automatically capture the logs also. Someday definitely I'll always try to get one report of my project, and maybe I'll show you how the complex the lengthy reports look like. Okay.
So basically, the test case data will be stored locally only, like whatever.
Locally only. Yes. We usually work on VDIs. Okay. So we have 2 or 3 VDIs. One we use it for scripting. The other VDIs we use it for executions. Okay. So whenever whichever VDI is free, virtual machine basically which is free, if we assume they told us we have to run this number of test case or some deployment is going on. After deployment, we have to run this whole test. Then we'll run it on in VDI. We'll run it remotely. It is running automatically, and other VDI we are scripting our own. After completion, wherever it is stored, we'll just right click and take the report. So it is locally, no nothing on cloud for now. Cloud is a total complex concept, and it is I'm not sure a lot of people are using also. It is not useful also, to be frank. A lot of authentication comes into play. You have to give a lot of OTPs and all. But it's better to have in that way. Cloud, it is not difficult. People are using cloud, but local is best easy way.
So suppose we are using this login functionality, we want to test and we want to store like 5 username and 5 passwords. So
Mm-hmm.
everything will be passing in the test case only, right? Those 5 values.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So that data will be stored locally only in this.
Locally only. No, not on cloud, right? But when you said passwords, right? I'll tell you one good thing about password. Maybe I'll show you. I know. I think your question is coming from is assuming you're using a password which is not encrypted, and if it is stored in a cloud, in that case, it might cause a compliance issues, right? That's what you're thinking. If assume I'll
Yes.
keep if I'm keeping a buffer, okay. This is just a way. This particular model is used to save something in a variable. It is like storing any data in a variable. So if I say a, okay, I'm storing value. Assuming no, I'll store value. This is variable name. And this is a value. Okay, I'll just save Arjun here. Okay, so I'm going to save Arjun in A. Okay, I'll just right click and run this. So it is saving A in Arjun. Okay, you can see that later. But action, this data type is string, right? If I keep it as password, right? Gone. You can never able to read it. What is passing? Even if I store it, it will store it as a star only. It is, I mean, if I want to use this variable in future, it will be able to use it, but I will never be able to run understand what exactly the value of a is. It is in the reports also. If you report it, it will always show you star star star. Okay, so that's how the data has been totally handled properly in a more secure way here. If you just take it, change the data type as password. So even if you store the file in cloud also, if you have data type as password, it's still very secure, because our project is usually after every release, our projects are getting audited by the EY or Deloitte, something usually by EY. Okay, so it's a healthcare project, so EY always document or come back and check our reports. So whatever test reports we are generating, it is every quarter. I usually sit with the EY team and they audit our reports and they check all these things, whether the passwords are properly being starred or not, and all small things, whether the results are captured properly or not. Okay, so definitely I'll make sure I'll cover all these points. That's a good question, Avinash, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Where
Yes.
Arjun,
Right.
where it is located, like 9th July multi, like the third term.
Workspace. Workspace.
Yes, workspace. Yes, yes.
Workspace. Okay. Maybe I think you were not in that class, but see, if you come to C folder, usually all the installation are stored in program files, right? But when you install TOSCA, there's one folder called TOSCA projects.
Just okay.
Projects. If we come back here, you see the second folder called TOSCA workspace. If you click on it, these are the different projects workspace which I have created. This, I think, this all I have showed on the second day maybe to show how the workspace are created. So this is 9 July multi is whatever. If I just, even if you don't launch Tosca, right? If I assume I'll just check in all everything, and if I close this, there are two ways to launch. There are different ways to launch basically Tosca. If I use normally here in the Windows, if I write Tosca command, it will launch. The other way is if you know which workspace, if you usually people will work only on workspace, one workspace. I'll directly go to my this workspace 9 July multi. I'll just double click on it. It will automatically launch that workspace. I mean, you don't need to open Chrome here. Directly launch it. This one way to launch. So yeah, this is where it is located. Tosca projects, Tosca workspace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like which contains modules and executions and reports.
Yes,
Everything is
everything.
available there in the
Yeah,
workspace, right?
yes, exactly. It will be there. Yes. If you are not able to see it, you can click on this project icon. You can see, right? If you click on it,
Yes, yes.
it will open this icon. It will show you all this. Everything is there already. By
Okay.
it's a new
The
one,
current
right? We have
project it shows.
current project, and it will show all the standard modules, examples, everything. Report also has all the standard modules based on that.
Results will get stored in execution
Results, we haven't come that.
reporting,
Results
right?
we will show. Basically, reporting will come in execution. The logs are stored in this execution list only, but we'll come that later. First, we'll complete test cases. Well, first we'll create
Okay.
2-3 test cases, complex test cases, then we'll move to execution list. But these three are very basic. I mean, they are the core of whole task. I'll say scanning. You should know scanning, how to scan it, how to create modules, proper modules, and then how to move it to test case, and how to form a test case based on this all uh, best practices. I mean, you should have precondition process and everything in place. If you run whole test case in scratch, but if you run properly, just manage. If everything is working fine here, then everything rest all is very simple. This rest all is just configuration. Your whole skills, analytical skill, logical skills come still here in test case part. After that, you just need to drag and drop, run it. That's it. That is very easy. That is, but just focus should be on how to create test cases properly and logics to how to what your logics you have to put.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arjun, like, do we get any scenario where we need to write some scripting?
Sure. I have few friends who were. I mean, they have recently interviewed in a company called TTC Global. If you heard of it, it's a partner of SAP. So he was asked a few questions. I mean, they gave him basically the interviews are not happening like earlier they used to have, right? They not only give questions. It is pretty easy to crack now, but they gave him a whole scenario test case. They gave him an Excel sheet wherein they gave him the test case. that log into this page, enter this data, enter this data, this scenario they gave it to him, and they ask him to create this whole test case and send them the TSV file. So we'll definitely build something like this. It will be a very good practice for interview purpose also. Okay, you
Okay.
can send your test cases to me also, and maybe I'll import it and then I'll check if it is how good it is.
And this interview was like for how many years of candidate experience?
3.5, 4 years of experience. But it happened in such a wide range because he told he's working for SAP Labs, and SAP Lab is the most they're using the Tosca in very high level. In the very deep level, they are not leaving anything. So that's why they went on to that much. But it will not happen that much. Your focus should be, once you learn Tosca, you just crack any Tosca interviews. Once you get into a project, just give 1 month, 6 months or 1 year just to understand the whole flow. Once you get a hands-on on the project, 6 months or 1 year, just switch quickly. One more time, okay? I'll tell you, I learned everything. It's a personal thing. Everything I learned. Maybe I'll stop recording first.